ladies and gentlemen. Well, good evening and welcome to the very beautiful Vanderbilt here at South Beach. Your 20th anniversary. Give yourselves a great big round of applause. GRACE Foundation. We finally made it here tonight. And we know that all of you are going to have an amazing time here as we celebrate. And we'd like to get our program started by introducing someone very near and dear to all of your hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause to Kathy.
Hey everybody, my name is Kathy. I'm the Director of Development for the GRACE Foundation, and it's great to see everybody here live and present. And right? And we can't shut you off and, pretend we're on Zoom and walk away and do something else. So here we are, and thank you. So we're excited to be here, and I want to say that thank you very much for Partners in Sound for the years and years of entertainment. And we're powering live by Gotham Trinity Productions, so thank you for that. And so anytime during the night, feel free to talk. We'll be on Facebook Live. At this point, I want to take you through our journey with our 4 founding members and their shining stars and celebrate our 20 years. At GRACE, we will always, always stand behind our mission, which is to support, enhance, and empower all individuals living with autism spectrum disorder. And with that, I'd like to introduce Michael Lanza, our Chairman of the Board of GRACE Foundation. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I feel like this is the 5th 20th Gala celebration because it's been rescheduled so many times. I really want to say it's amazing to have everyone here tonight. I want to thank everyone for coming from the bottom of our hearts. It's just amazing everything that the world has been through to see everyone gathered here to support the cause for our families and the children we serve. So I want to say thank you to everyone. Okay? The first thing I would like to do is I want to thank our sponsors. Folks, without our sponsors, this evening would not be possible. Without our sponsors, the vans we drive the kids in, everything that we do, the sponsors are the lifeline of our organization. Okay? So I'd like to thank Empire State Bank, Friends to GRACE for many years. You know what? If I can trouble you folks, let's try to hold the applause until I get to the end, and then I'll ask for a big round of applause. Our newest friends and family, Lakshmi and Shanks, who with Barbara Diamora have collaborated and introduced spelling as a communication method to GRACE called the Studio at GRACE. They are working hard to change the perceptions that non-speaking means non-thinking, and that we must all raise the bar and presume competence. Lenore Pulio has also been instrumental with this new program, and a shout out to her and the Staten Island Foundation. We'd also like to thank Perchabali Container and Perchabali Industries. The Perchabali family is here. Thank you for your support. We'd like to thank PS Finance, Ken Quinn and Ameriquinn, Ranieri Jewelers, Nick and Roy Ranieri. Special thank you. Roy is here present tonight. Thank you. Robert DeFalco, Wealth Protection Agencies, M&R Construction. M&R Construction has probably been our single biggest benefactor. They built the wing in our waiting room at GRACE. We will be forever indebted to them. This year has been such a challenge for all, and we cannot thank you all enough for being part of our lives through these extremely trying times. During these times of isolation, we know many people enjoyed our virtual bingo, so I want to shout out Mikey and Madison, Miss Staten Island, both here this evening, for hosting our virtual bingo for the last year. Okay? Other dear friends with us tonight, Eden, On Your Mark, Investors Bank, CTV, Partners in Sound, Gotham, and our friends from the NYPD. Let's give a special thank you to the NYPD. Okay. I'd also like to thank the GRACE staff, the GRACE families, and volunteers. A special thank you to my wife, Joey, for her years of dedication. It does not go unnoticed. You have been the beacon here of this event for many, many years to come. And I know I'm going to get yelled at for this, but you got to come up here for a quick second. This is for you, and I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Special lady here. Without her, a lot of this stuff does not occur. Okay. I want to thank Eddie Russo. Okay, Eddie Russo, just please stand up and get acknowledged. I don't know where you are, but Eddie Russo, you have been such a great help, a great friend, and a great friend to GRACE, and we all love you. Okay. Michelle DeSantis, where are you, Michelle? Michelle, please come up here. I need you for a moment, Michelle. Michelle, are you hiding? Oh, here she comes. This beautiful lady has worked so hard to get everyone to put journal ads, and she's been a great friend to Grace. I am honored to have met you. Okay, I want to give a shout out to Susan Esposito, who's here in attendance. Susan was with us back in the day, and thank you for coming home. Okay. I'd like to shout out my two children, Michael and Anthony. Where are you? Just stand up and be acknowledged. Okay. You guys have helped me and Mom. You guys have, sometimes complained about it, but done it anyway. You have done anything and anything we have asked you. So I'd like to thank my two children. I also want to thank Roy Ranieri, who has always gone above and beyond. And I want to do a special thank you to the Grazianos, Chris, one of our former honorees, and his whole entire family. You guys have become our friends that are now family. Okay. So I'd like to now ask you to enjoy our special video presentation.
Hey, girls.
Hi. Good morning. Morning, girls.
Good morning. Today's the big day.
I know, I'm so excited. I can't believe it's finally here.
Finally here.
I'm putting cream on.
3 times.
3 times.
I want to look 20 years younger, girls, like when we started.
I need more than cream.
I know. Should I whiten my teeth?
Oh, yes, definitely whiten the teeth.
Oh, thanks, Guy.
With the teeth whitening.
Thank you.
Well, at least we're going to have really beautiful weather today.
Yeah,
Weather.
okay.
Who cares about the weather?
Yeah, really.
What? No, we're going live.
What?
It's be live.
No.
Live.
I didn't. We're not going live. It's
No,
right
we're not
now.
going
We're
live.
having a virtual gala.
No, it's going to be live.
No.
You know what? Someone better.
I'm
call
texting Kathy. I'm texting
Good,
Kathy.
Barbara. Good.
She always answers.
She's the best.
Kathy's the boss.
Yeah, Kathy's awesome.
Is she answering you yet?
Not yet.
She just texted her.
Oh, my God.
What'd she say?
Oh my God, what? Where'd she go?
Where'd she go?
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Barbara Diamora.
I am honored to stand here before all of you this evening and introduce Barbara Diamora. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Anthony Lanza, and I was diagnosed on the autism spectrum disorder at 2 years old. Barbara was one of my first therapists, and she's helped me for many years. I am living proof of Barbara's dedication and commitment to helping others. She has been a pioneer at the GRACE Foundation and now has brought a new spelling to communicate program to GRACE. As a young boy, I was unable to properly communicate my gratitude. As I stand before you this year, now a young man, I wish to say a special thank you, Barbara, who has been so instrumental in my journey. Now take a look at the video to see a bit more about Barbara. Thank you.
I was in a neurologist's office getting Nicholas evaluated, and we got the diagnosis of PDD-NOS. He told us to stay off the internet and not go there, and of course I went there, but we were kind of in shock. And we left that office and walked into the reception area to make another appointment, and I think the woman who was working there who happened to also be named Diane, said, "It's going to be okay." And I wanted to cry. I didn't know what I was going to do, where to turn. What do you do with this information? Your whole life just changes in a moment. And she said, "Your husband's a police officer, right?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "I know a family. I want you to call her. Her name is Diane Perugia. Her husband is a police officer too." She said, "Here's her number." And she gave me her number, and I literally went home and called her up. And I think we were on the phone for like 4 hours. And she talked me in off the ledge, that everything was going to be okay, that she understood how hard it was. And you go through like a mourning process, but she said, "We're going to get to work. You're going to pick yourself up. You're going to dust yourself off. We're going to get to work." And let me tell you, once we hit the ground running, we got to work. The GRACE Foundation means to me like, it's almost like your child. You know, it's like our baby. We started this. I think us as founding members have a greater, you know, sense of protecting it and just, you know, keeping it too close to our heart because we started it. So it's very important to me. And it's also something, sometimes I forget how great a job we've done. You know, it's become second nature, GRACE, but when I look around at our building and I see the kids that we're helping, and you think about that ripple effect of the pebble in the pond and all the ripples go out, it's amazing to me to think that me, my son, and the other honorees, the lives we have touched and the lives we have improved and the parents that we have helped, it's sort of like your legacy. And my favorite quote of all time, it's not mine, so I certainly won't take ownership of it, is the two most important days of your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. And I honestly feel like I found out why. Because I questioned God, why me? Why did this happen to me? And now I know why. Why not me? Look what was born of my situation and Nicholas's. And I feel like we've inspired so many people and we've helped so many lives. So I don't know, I feel like I'm leaving the world a better place. Well, my Nicholas is a gift. I will tell you that. And all children are gifts, but I have to tell you, and you'll probably hear this from many autistic parents, he's taught me more than I'll ever teach him. I will tell you there was a shift though. The day I decided that I was not going to try to fix him, to cure him, to change him, is the day that our entire life shifted. I have accepted that autism is part of our lives. I don't like it, but I've accepted it. It's who he is, and he is a shining star every day. He is inspirational. For a non-speaking individual, he is showing the world that he has a mind, a personality, thoughts, and he's changing the perception of autism, that non-speaking does not mean non-thinking. And that is just so important. We have to presume competence. They're all in there. And I think that that is our message, and that's something that my son represents, and we give hope to others, and I feel like I wouldn't want it any other way now. 21 years ago, GRACE was very small townish, you know, smaller agency, very comforting, homey. I don't say that we're not that now. We've just grown so much. We service a lot of children. We have so many more incredible programs. We have a big, beautiful building. We have a big staff. So it's a different kind of feel. But in my heart, we're still doing the same mission. We want to give a better quality of life to those individuals on the spectrum, and we want to educate the parents and tell them that it's going to be okay. So it's still full of hope. We're just a lot bigger. And maybe we're better at it because now we have a lot more to offer. But back in the early days, it was just very much a sense of hope for me and for others. And like I said, helping others, you don't realize how much it helps you to help others. I'd like to introduce to you my shining star, Nicholas Diamora.
Oh, this is ridiculous. How do we know if this gal is virtual or live? Kathy.
I don't know. it's gotta be virtual. I only bought a shirt. I bought a beautiful shirt because I knew it didn't matter what I was wearing on the bottom. So I don't have an outfit. Oh my God, do I have to go buy an outfit?
Yeah, if it's live, you might have to go buy an outfit.
Where'd Kathy go?
Diane, they both left us. We still don't know what's going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Kathy Maraca.
Kathy, it is my highest honor to introduce you this evening. The most accurate way to describe you in one simple, understated word: kind. I have known you over 20 years and have the honor of calling you my friend. You exude kindness and sincerity in everything you do. You are all heart in a world that is sometimes often unkind and unfair. You serve as an inspiration to the ASD community as you thrive to help everyone. Now let us take a look at this video to see a bit more about Kathy.
So my first challenge with autism was when Thomas was diagnosed with autism. And quite frankly, I didn't even know what autism was. I remember coming home from the doctor's office and I just remember crying, and I called my stepfather because I thought maybe he would know. I called my pediatrician, and my pediatrician made an appointment with me for the following day. But in that time, I really had no idea. So being that I didn't know anybody who had an autistic child, I didn't know what autism was, I got terrified. A friend of a friend gave me somebody's phone number from Brooklyn. Her name is Susan Esposito, and she had a 6-year-old autistic boy. And my girlfriend said, just call her and just talk to her. And that's exactly what I did. I called Susan all the time. Susan was my lifeline. She was my go-to, and any questions that I had. You don't realize not only autism, but just all the steps that you have to take and the services that you're entitled to. So it was really good for me to have someone that had the experience. When Susan invited me to meet a group of moms on Staten Island, I was happy and I said, of course. So I met the board of directors now of the GRACE Foundation, and it was just amazing to see how these women had the same thoughts and the same fears and the same concerns as I did. And we also had the same vision for our children. So Thomas was very well taken care of educational. He had a full-day program. He had after-school services. He had speech. He had OT. He had PT. But there was something missing. There was just something. The social part of everything. So the first committee that I joined with the GRACE Foundation was parent support. Diane Rodriguez and myself used to get phone calls. We actually got a list of names, and we would split the list in half, and we would call the parents, and we were there because I knew how important it was for support. I knew how much Susan had helped me, and I was ready to be there to help all these mothers that had no idea where to start and what to do. My biggest hurdle with Thomas was, and probably continues to be, letting go. As Thomas got older, Thomas got a very, very difficult time with Thomas home. I remember at 9 years old, we decided to finally put him on medication, which You know, I just remember always saying it's a honeymoon because the medications would work maybe for a few hours, maybe even sometimes a few days, but shortly thereafter it was back to the violence and the meltdowns, and it was just a really difficult time. It was just getting extremely hard for my family, for myself. So when I say letting go, I mean, it took a lot for me to finally one day say to myself and understand that I have another child that needs his mom. I have a husband that needs a wife. I had parents that needed a good daughter. And I also knew that I couldn't be with Thomas forever. And that was my biggest fear, is who was going to take care of Thomas. So the biggest decision and the biggest hurdle I made was to place my son, which ultimately ended up being the best decision I ever made for him. Thomas has a wonderful life now. He is happy. He works. He was in a seed to stomach program, so he worked on a farm. He actually got the eggs from the chicken. He had a purpose in life, and he was no longer aggressive. He was no longer agitated because he had a purpose, and he was doing something that made him happy. So Thomas truly is my shining star. I couldn't be more proud of the man he has become, the independence, the hardworking. He just lights up a room with his smile. He loves people, and he makes people feel loved. And I'm looking forward to the next chapter in Thomas's life as he starts in his new home and now an adult program. Hi, everybody. So for those who know me, you know that my children are my, excuse me. Thank you. My children are my pride and my joy. So it's with great honor tonight that I have my son Frank walk his brother Thomas to receive his Shining Star Award. This one?
You know what? I'll
You said
text
it's
Mike.
live?
I'm going to text Mike and see what he says.
What does Mike say?
Oh my God, I got to go. I have a million things to do.
So you left now.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's put those hands together nice and loud for Diane Rodriguez.
Good evening. My name is Julie Gottesman, and I am the Director of Respite Programs for the GRACE Foundation. I am so pleased to have the honor of introducing Diane Rodriguez this evening. Diane, by being part of our founding mission, by wanting all families to have the opportunities you wish for your beautiful daughter, Jessica, I can share firsthand that your collaborative foresight with the other founding members paved the way for the GRACE Foundation's ongoing efforts to enhance the quality of life for so many people and their families, learning each day how to navigate their lives that are touched by autism. All of us at GRACE are determined to uphold the original GRACE mission with absolute integrity, creativity, and respect. Thank you for remaining steadfast in your commitment to GRACE and for sharing your vision and your Jessica with us. Let's take a look at the video to hear a bit more from Diane.
GRACE is very important to our family, myself and Jessica. For me, I'm very proud to have been a part of a program that provides so many wonderful services to so many families. And for Jessica, this is her home away from home. She's been here since the very beginning. Before the pandemic, she was probably here 7 days a week for day hab, after day hab, Saturdays, Sundays, and even now, she's on Zoom constantly when she's not here for day hab. So it is her home away from home. In day hab, their day might start, they will learn a lesson, usually related to job training or job readiness. They'll exercise, they go to different places for volunteer opportunities. They go to the Lighthouse Museum, they go to Meals on Wheels. They go on outings where they'll to buy things so they can learn how to manage their money. And then, you know, the social aspect of it. So they have a pretty full day. Most people think of people on the spectrum as being to themselves or, you know, they kind of loners. They don't want to communicate with people. My daughter is an example. She is so social. She wants to talk to everybody. She has a sense of humor. She's very friendly. So I think that's one of the misconceptions. And they are extremely bright. Just because a child might not be verbal, there's a lot going on in there. They're very intelligent. It is a spectrum. You have kids who are nonverbal. Some have very limited verbal ability. Some are fully conversational. Some may have issues with academics, where others might be off the charts intelligent, you know, graduate with a Regents diploma. Some are very talented musically. Others have a very talent as far as art. It's endless. There are so many different aspects to it. One of the big success stories for Jessica was she went to school at PS 37 at Petrides. It was an inclusion program. She went to general ed classes from K to 12. And people probably thought I was crazy for putting her in a program like that. But she went through the whole entire program, sat through general ed classes, modified work, but when she graduated and walked through the quad with the rest of the general ed kids, that to me, that was probably one of the happiest moments of my life. To see her walk with the big smile on her face, just with the other kids, you know, no different than any typical kid. It was just, I can't even put it into words what it felt like for me. I can't even believe how far we've come. It was a lot of hard work in the beginning. We had no staff. The board did everything. You know, we all pitched in, did whatever had to be done, you know, making flyers, making copies, you know, handing flyers out to people, running small events just to raise some money. And we just all worked really, really hard. And eventually we were able to hire staff to do a lot of the things that we did, and we just continued to grow. And I could never have imagined 20 years ago, well now 21 years ago, that it would have come this far. I would like us to start to open residential services, group homes for the kids, because the kids, you know, my daughter was 5 when we started. She's 26 now. Eventually she's going to need a place to live. And, you know, it's not an easy thing to do, but if it was through the GRACE Foundation, I would feel so much more comfortable because I know the staff, I'm involved. It would be a huge relief for me that once my husband and I are gone, that she has a place that I would consider safe. And I know she will be treated with love and respect, because I see how all of these kids are treated here. So that's one thing I really would like to see us do in the next 5 years.
And now I'd like to introduce my shining star, Jessica Rodriguez.
This is unbelievable. All this confusion. I don't know if the gala is live or virtual. How will I find out? They're not answering my cell. I know. I'll ask Alexa. Alexa!
Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Diane Rodriguez.
Good evening to everyone. What an amazing journey this has been, and I'm so happy that I can stand before you tonight to introduce my daughter and granddaughter. But before I did that, since this is really a special evening and a special celebration, I would like to take a few minutes of your time and give some history about how GRACE started. The journey began in 2000 when 10 families, including our 4 honorees, came together around a kitchen table. Their goal was to do better things for their children who were diagnosed on the autism spectrum. Each family chipped in money, they obtained an attorney, and applied for a 501c status. The GRACE Foundation was created. Prior to our first year, there were very limited services available in the community for autistic children. GRACE found its purpose. Initially, GRACE had only a few dozen participants. Due to hard work and efforts of very many people, in 2009, before COVID, the number grew to 300. We are happy to say that some of the children that started, as well as many others, are now young adults receiving services that are part of the GRACE family. Now, a little bit about Diane. From the onset until today, she's actively promotes GRACE and everything the organization stands for. Serving on GRACE's board of directors for the past 21 years and serving as the vice chair for 10 of those years. She also found time to volunteer her efforts, her attention, and her expertise to our community's needs and to assist people with developmental disabilities. When you get a chance, just take a look at her bio and you will know why I am so proud of her. I told Diane many times that God gave her Alexa as a conduit to help so many children, their families, and our community. She found a way to support parents through the obstacles they face with a child on the spectrum. She is so blessed with the talent to provide this help and guidance. But before I introduce Diane, I would be remiss not to mention my son-in-law. A successful marriage must be the collaboration of understanding, cooperation, and love. When you have an autistic child, it is even more a challenging task. Diane would not have accomplished as much as she did if it wasn't for Mike supporting all her endeavors and by being such a great dad. A shout out now to my grandson, Mikey, who is the best brother Alexa could ever want. And And as many as you know, Alexa is a very loving woman. She always sends text messages out to family and friends, telling everyone how much she loves them. Tonight, Alexa, we are sending a message to you and to your mom on how much we love you. Now, as any mother would be, I am so, so proud for my daughter, Diane Perugia, and our shining star, Alexa.
In 1997, I was pregnant with my son Michael, and my daughter Alexa was 2, and she was diagnosed with autism. After coming back from the neurologist's office, my husband and I started researching about autism, and we realized we were like in trouble, you know, that this was going to be life-changing for our family, and it was going to be difficult. So I started networking with a group of other families and attending seminars and conferences and trying to learn and read up on anything that I could get my hands on. And doing that, I met a group of people on Staten Island, other family members, and we had the same interest. We bonded. We wanted to help our children and help others. So we decided to put a couple $100 together. We threw it in a kitty. We bought some stamps. We had some flyers made up, and the GRACE Foundation was born. We started with support groups. Support groups because we wanted to tell families, you're not alone. You know, I myself have a large family, a wonderful circle of support. But my sisters, my friends, they didn't have a child with autism. So they didn't know what I was going through. And we wanted other families to know that they weren't alone, and we wanted to give them hope. The first couple of years, we knew that we had to create a bond with the families that needed our services. So we started with holiday parties, picnics, and we felt it was important also to educate parents. So we hosted Grace University, where we hosted a series of educational seminars to teach families how to help their child with autism, to give them the knowledge, to give them the education on how to help their child. And it really took off because it empowered parents to help themselves, which helped their child. The most rewarding part is to see the smile on my daughter's face as well as her friends when I walk into the Grace building. That's the reward. The reward is when they accomplish something that they didn't think they can do, and they're really proud of it. The challenge of running an organization like Grace is to keep up with supports and services. The numbers are there. When my daughter was diagnosed in 1997, autism was 1 in every 1,200. Today, it's 1 in every 54. We have a wait list. We've always had a wait list. And it's upsetting to me not to be able to meet that need. We started with fundraising money, and throughout the years, we then got state funded. But with the recent budget cuts in the past 10 years, it's always been difficult to sustain our programs. And so that's the most challenging part, not to be able to service all our participants. I think the hardest obstacle was learning that I could not help my daughter on my own, that I needed professionals in my life to teach me and to be with me on a daily basis to help her learn. And that's very hard. That was very hard for me. I would like to thank all the people, our family, our friends, politicians, the Rotary clubs, the Kiwanis clubs that were there for us, because that's who helped us grow to where we are today. And it takes a village, and all our friends and family and our community people were there for us. And for that, and I can speak on behalf of myself and the rest of the founding members and the the Grace Foundation, for that we will forever be thankful. I look forward to continuing to grow, to continue to meet the needs and provide a loving, nurturing space for other individuals for throughout the span of their lifetime to be able to be and to be well respected, because that's who we are and that's what we strive for every day at the Grace Foundation.